In the quiet town of Oakridge, hidden behind a dense curtain of pine trees, stood a forgotten house. Abandoned for nearly 3 decades, it loomed like a scar from another era, creaking, decaying, and whispering secrets with every breeze. Locals called it the house beneath the pines and never dared go near it after sundown. But secrets have a way of clawing back into the light. Chapter 1. The Return. 30-year-old Alyssa Moore wasn't supposed to come back. Not after the nightmares, the loss, and the silence that swallowed her family whole. Yet here she was, driving her rented car through the winding roads of Oakridge, the same road she fled when she was just 9. The reason? Her grandmother's death, the last surviving member of the Moore family. The lawyer's voice still echoed in her head. She left you the property. Everything, including the old house. Alyssa parked at the edge of the overgrown driveway. Towering pine trees leaned in like sentinels, their shadows long and heavy. The house, what remained of it, had a broken roof, moss-covered walls, and shattered windows. Yet something about it called to her, like a forgotten lullaby. She walked up the creaky porch, key trembling in her hand. The door opened with a long groan. Chapter 2. Forgotten Voices. The interior was worse than she imagined. Furniture draped in white sheets. Dust thick as fog. But it wasn't the decay that unnerved her. It was the overwhelming sense of presence. As though someone or something was still watching. She opened her grandmother's bedroom. It was untouched. A candle still melted on the nightstand. A diary sat beside it. The last entry read, "They've returned. I hear them in the walls. I tried to seal the basement, but they remember Alyssa. They want her back." Her breath caught. Who? What did she mean? Suddenly, she heard a faint tapping, rhythmic, deliberate, coming from beneath the floorboards. The basement. Chapter 3. The Basement Door. Alyssa found the old cellar door in the hallway, partially blocked by a bookshelf. With effort, she moved it aside and turned the rusty handle. The door creaked open, releasing a gust of cold, stale air that smelled of damp earth and mildew. Each step down groaned under her weight. Her flashlight flickered. The basement was filled with relics. Old trunks, broken mirrors, shattered picture frames. She shone her light on a wall and froze. Scrawled in red across the concrete. "We remember her." Her heart pounded. She turned around and gasped. In the far corner, barely visible in the shadows, stood a child's rocking horse, rocking slowly. Then a whisper. "Alyssa?" She dropped the flashlight. Darkness. Chapter 4. The Stranger. Alyssa awoke in her grandmother's bed. Morning light filtered through the curtains. Had it been a dream? Downstairs, someone knocked on the front door. She opened it to find a man in his early 30s, dark jacket, weather-worn face, intense blue eyes. "I'm Ethan Blackwood," he said. "I used to live next door. I saw your car last night." She hesitated. "I'm Alyssa Moore. This was my grandmother's house." His face tightened. "Then you should be careful. That house, it's not just old wood and stories. People went missing here. Your parents were the first." Alyssa's eyes narrowed. "What do you mean?" "I was told they died in a fire." Ethan nodded slowly. "That's what you were told. But the fire wasn't what killed them. And your grandmother knew the truth." Chapter 5. Secrets in the Pines. Ethan led Alyssa through the pine woods behind the house. He pointed to an old well, hidden beneath a rotting cover of boards and ivy. Back then, they said the well was cursed. Kids who came near it disappeared. Some said it was haunted. Your father sealed it, tried to hide it. Then, your parents vanished. Next day, the fire. Alyssa stared into the darkness of the well, her thoughts racing. Could this be what her grandmother feared? That night, she dreamed of her childhood, of voices beneath the floor, of shadows with no faces. She woke to find her bedroom window wide open, pine needles scattered across the floor. And, again, that whisper. "We've waited, Alyssa." The next morning, Alyssa paced the creaky floors of the house, haunted by Ethan's warnings and her own unearthed memories. She couldn't shake the sound of that whisper, low, cold, childlike. She returned to her grandmother's bedroom and flipped through more pages of the diary. There's something buried behind the fireplace. Harold tried to wall it up, but it still calls. Even now. Harold, my grandfather? She whispered. Fueled by both dread and determination, she stepped into the living room. The stone fireplace stood like a tomb. Dusting it off, she noticed an odd seam running along the left side of the hearth. With a crowbar, she pried at the edge until a loose stone clattered to the floor. Behind it, darkness. Inside the hollow space, she found a bundle wrapped in thick cloth, tied with rope. She dragged it out, her heart racing. When she unwrapped it, she gasped. Inside were old cassette tapes, a rusted recorder, and a locket, her mother's. She played the first tape. If you're hearing this, Alyssa, it means your grandmother failed to keep them buried. We tried to close the door, but it always opens again. They're not ghosts, they're older than ghosts. They live beneath. The recording ended with a scream. Chapter 7. The Ritual. Ethan returned that afternoon. Together, they listened to all 6 tapes. Alyssa's parents had discovered an old ritual site under the house during a renovation. Symbols. Bones. The remnants of some ancient rite. The voices, the whispers, the presence. All linked to that place. They called it the Rooted Ones, Ethan said, holding the last tape. They don't haunt, they infect. They root themselves in your mind. Alyssa stared at him. Then why are we still here? We need to finish what your father started, Ethan replied. Seal the well. Cleanse the house. And whatever is in the basement, we burn it. Chapter 8. Down below. That night, storm clouds rolled in. Thunder rumbled over Oakridge. Ethan and Alyssa descended once more into the basement, now with gasoline, candles, and salt. A circle was drawn. The tapes were placed in the center. Ethan began reading from a page Alyssa found in the diary, a binding chant. But then the house changed. The walls seemed to breathe. The candlelight bent in impossible directions. The air thickened. From the far wall, a shape emerged. Tall, faceless, made of roots, bones, and shadows. And behind it, smaller ones, hunched, whispering, crawling. She belongs to us, the voice echoed from all directions. Alyssa stepped forward. No, not anymore. She lit the gasoline-soaked tapes and hurled them at the creature. A roar exploded from the walls. The fire spread like lightning, climbing the shadows. The roots recoiled, shrieking, unraveling into ash. Chapter 9. The Collapse. The house shook. Board split. Glass shattered. Ethan grabbed her hand. We need to go. Now. They rushed up the basement stairs as the entire structure groaned and began to collapse. The fireplace crumbled. The roof caved. They burst out the front door just as the entire house beneath the pines was consumed in flames. From a safe distance, they watched as the ancient evil, buried, bound, and forgotten, was destroyed. Or so they hoped. Epilogue. 1 year later. Alyssa stood on the edge of the rebuilt property. A small memorial garden now replaced the old house. Wildflowers bloomed where darkness once festered. Ethan joined her, holding 2 coffees. You ready to leave this all behind? He asked. I think so, she replied. But I'll always wonder. About what? She looked toward the trees. If the house was destroyed, why do I still hear them in my dreams? A sudden breeze rustled the pine needles. Soft. Whispers. Just the wind. Or maybe not.